You know what really chaps my ass? Is when I tell them not to put the front license plate bracket on and they do it anyway. The car been sitting at the dealership for 2 days. They said that they were gonna give me a call when it got here. This is terrible. Like, just terrible service, man. Like, my sales guy and the sales manager, they assured me that they wouldn't put it on there. And the guy's like, oh, just take it off and you can just put plugs. But that don't look right. All right, y'all. So as you can see from the first video, we got a car, or we ordered one, I should say. Waited a month, and then they ended up putting the license plate frame on. The car was at the dealership for 2 days. They said they were going to call us. They never called us. So what we did, oh, the other thing, I'm just going to explain a couple things, but the other thing, what they did was, we were trading in our Mercedes S550, and they only wanted to give us $3,000 for it. So on the real, like, we were in a bind, kinda, meaning that we needed our new car. We didn't have to sell it. I mean, we got pre-approved for $60,000, but I didn't want to, you know, be $60,000 in. So, but the reason why I'm telling you this is because we were kind of in a bind. We had to use we wanted to use the vehicle for camping in Vegas, and yeah. So after waiting for a month, we were like, man. So I was gonna take it. I was irritated at the license plate. I was irritated that they never called us. Just terrible service, you know. Well, I'll say one thing about Tesla. Tesla has changed the game when it comes to car buying, because you just go online, you order your car, and the car shows up, and it lets you know that the car is there. They're not even salespeople, you know. They're just people that work at the Tesla dealership. They hand you the keys and paperwork, or there's no paperwork. They just hand you the keys. Here's the car, and you cut. So what makes it so different for this is, like, you have to deal with salespeople, man, and I do not like that. And we'll go over that in a second. But I just wanted to do a walk around the car. But right now, shut up. Right now I'm just filling it up real quick on some juice while Liza's at the her doctor appointment. And the well, yeah, I just want to go over some things like the buying process. Like, it's not my first car buying. Like, I've bought so many cars in my life. Bought so many cars. And before we get there, let me just say this is a 2024 Mazda CX-90 plug-in hybrid. So that's what that means. Plug-in hybrid electric vehicle. We were considering 3 cars, or I should say 2 others, for the most part. One, we've been trying to get the Ford Mach-E. Let's go inside, because all these trucks are coming. I'm gonna turn on some AC or something. So right now it's gonna take an hour to charge it to full. All right, so um, so last year we wanted to buy a new car. Like that was a deal for last year. Let me zoom out. But it didn't work out. Like I don't know. We put a hold on one, or we put the $500 down to hold to order one, and that dealership was just a straight a-hole. There was another dealership, and this is what I'm talking about. Like I've been buying cars for so many years, man, and you go in there and you have terrible credit. You go in, you ain't got no real, no money, and it's like, dealerships, the sales guy, they have to do some work. You know what I'm saying? They got to go back and forth. They got to talk to this person, got to talk to that person. They got to try to see what you can do, see what they can do for you, see what car they can get you in. Like, we ain't got to do that no more, man. We getting pre-approvals, like, before we go to, and this is not to, like, be cocky or anything, because for the most part, everybody can do it. Like, we don't even go to dealerships anymore and see if we can get finance. We could just go to our credit union and just, here's the car we want, let's do it. We did that for our Mercedes S550, got 1.99% APR, 0 down. We did it for the white Mercedes E350, same thing, because it was around the same time. So 1.99 APR and 0 down. But for us, we tend to hold on to cars for a while. Like, we buy them, we use them. And then when it came to this one, of course, interest rates are very high right now, but we wanted to get something. Like, it was just, it's time. Like, so anyway, so we wanted it was a 2023 Ford Mach-E. That's the all-electric, the Ford Mustang Mach-E. And what happened was we went to one dealership, and this is the one dealership down the street from our house. They were having $15,000 markup over MSRP, or actually it was 10. I'll be lying to y'all if I said 15. So what we did was we went and ordered one online, but we did another dealership, and all you had to do was put $500 down. They'll order the car. But the weird thing is, like, you put your information in, you give them your $500, and then it's like the car's ordered. But in reality, what happened was I think we were in Vegas last year, actually, and the guy calls us from the dealership, from the one that we ordered it from, and he's like, well, we're a commercial truck, Ford truck company, and in order for us to order this vehicle for you, we need an extra $1,500 down. I'm like, $1,500? Why would you do that when it says $500 down on the website? He goes, well, but let me rewind. My bad. Hold on. Let me rewind. So he calls and he's like, yeah, we got your request to order this vehicle. And I was like, yeah. And he goes, let me ask you this. How are you going to be paying for it? And I was like, oh, we're going to have a check from our bank. And that's when everything flipped. And the reason is because they don't make any money off of EVs. So what happens is when they come in to make a sale, or when you go in and you're trying to buy a car, they want you to finance because they make money off of financing. They don't make money off you paying cash. So that's when he's like, oh, well, if you want us to order this, we're going to need $1,500 extra to order it for you. I'm like, I ain't giving you shit. I was like, matter of fact, refund me my money. Like, I was straight I was a dick. Excuse my language, I was a straight dickhead because it's not right. You know what I'm saying? Like if I was going in, I had terrible credit and all this other stuff. Oh man, they'll be like, you know, we're gonna need some money down, and then we'll get you any bank you like. Trust me, I've done it before. Like when I was when I was younger. But now, you know, they're not making any money. They want you to finance with them, with their what is it, Ford Financial or something. So they want you to go through with them and stuff. And it's not right. So we canceled that, and I told Liza, I said, you know what, man, we're just gonna sit for a minute. The other vehicle I really wanted was a Tesla Model Y. So we were considering those two. Like we wanted to go full EV. And what happened was when we did our AC unit at the house that we're renting, so I installed it myself. I kind of did some upgrades to the wiring, and just found out that we don't even have the capacity for it, for like a fast charge. Because you want to fast charge a full EV vehicle. So doing some more research, we were going to get a CX-9. Because I'm like, you know what, man, we already got the Mazda speed. Let's just stay in the Mazda family. We already knew we were going to get rid of the Mercedes, you know, so that would leave us with the Mazda speed, which is a 2008. We got it from Mazda, Oak Tree Mazda, which is in what do you call, Santa Clara. Now it's called Stevens Creek Mazda. So that was already off top. I'm like, okay, we're just gonna stay to Mazda. I think that'll be cool. So when it came time, when we found out about the CX-90, I wasn't really for it. But it started to grow on me. Like I started watching videos. I gotta turn this up a little bit more. Watching a lot of videos on it. Let me turn this around. I look scruff McGruff, but whatever. So yeah, so what happened was it just kept growing on me. I'm watching videos and videos and videos and videos. I'm like, I kind of like it. It's big, very big as far as like from what we had. It's not like a full size, you know, something like a Suburban Excursion. Those are like extra large size. But it's, and I'll show you guys a little something in a minute. I just wanted to talk to you guys and get out of it because all these workers are coming back. We're at like some parking lot for Public Works. So yeah, so then I found out that they were having they were going to have a plug-in hybrid, which has EV mode and like hybrid mode and all that stuff. And so I just did a lot of research on it, on just watching a bunch of videos on YouTube. And so I was like, okay, you know what, that's what we'll do then. We'll get that one because we can just do straight EV like we want. Especially around town. We don't go anywhere, to be honest. We stay home. To give you an idea, the S550, we only put 30,000 miles on it in the time we got it. And we bought it back in 2015. So that is nothing. So our white Mercedes was more so of a like a beater car. Like I didn't give a damn about that car. I know, again, it sounds like I'm being, you know, I don't know, but it just sounds like I'm being like rich, but I'm not. But it was just a car. Like we had so many cars at the time. We just chose which car we would be like a whatever car. We didn't really care. So if we went somewhere, like we went to San Francisco, that was the car we took, because if it did get broken into or something did happen, we didn't care. And hell, if they stole it, even better. But it never happened. But no, I'm just joking. But anyway, so yeah, so, you know, we don't drive it, so it was like, okay, this will work for us. So we ended up just deciding on this one. So my thing was, they got 3 trim levels. They got preferred, they got premium, and they got premium plus. For me, because I just wanted a new vehicle, I didn't really care. I was gonna go with the preferred. That's the lower one. I believe it starts at 47,000. And what I'll do right now is I'll kind of show you some differences that I found out online on YouTube. A lot of these reviewers. So we'll do that right now, and we'll kind of talk about that. All right, so this is it. This is the 2024 CX-90 plug-in hybrid. Right now we got 50 minutes of charging left. We have 15 miles currently. It only gives you 27 miles of EV driving, which is perfect for in town. And we bought the car, it had 2 miles on it. Now we have 1,700 miles. I did have another video kind of when we got it, but I just ended up deleting it because I needed some space. I said I could just make the video later. So anyway, so preferred, from what I got from it, is number one, the wheels are different. So you get 19-inch wheels on the preferred, 21s on the premium and premium plus. I didn't really care about that. Number two would be panoramic roof. Which, to be honest, when you see how this opens, you're gonna be like, eh. That's all you get. It's about as big as my phone, not gonna lie. So I wanted that. I'm like, okay, look. I was like, okay, look, so I want that mainly because the S550 and the E350 both have panoramic roofs. And I felt that would, you know, it would just add a little bit more space in here, even though this is a pretty big car. Plus it has like this little, like it goes up right here. So I said, okay, that'll probably be better for headroom just in case we need it. So at that point, that's when we figured out that we wanted the premium plus, the premium. Now, what you also get is down here, you get the wireless charge. You get, what else? Dang. I'm gonna come back to you in a second. Hold on. Let me just double check because I want to make sure I'm telling y'all this. All right, so my bad. So yeah, so the other thing is we'll go outside and I'll show you something else. That's what it was. I'm tripping. So the seats are different. So in the preferred, you get just a bench here. So it doesn't have like the 2 captain seats, chairs, whatever they call them. You would just have a straight bench. And what we were thinking is we'll put our dog in the back. Like Callie could stay back here. We haven't done it though. We did, however, put something in the middle here and have her here when we went to Vegas. So the other thing is this door is hella nice. The way it opens, like most doors open like this. This thing open all the way. So anyway, so the captain's chairs, the panoramic roof, the wireless charging, and then also the automatic power lift gate. That's what we wanted. So that right there sealed the deal. So once we figured that out, I started doing a little bit more research, and I found out that the Premium Plus has 360 cameras. It also has Napa leather seats. It has the kick lift gate, so you can just kick your foot and then it opens. It has a bigger screen, which is, it just fills up this little area here. So it's 12 inches. I believe this is 10. I believe this is a little bit bigger also. I didn't care about that. Here's where I messed up at. That's everything I learned from YouTube. But I didn't know that the Premium Plus, okay, so it's like $4,000 more, all right? And only thing I wanted out of it was one thing, which was the cameras. This is a bigger vehicle. I like the 360 cameras in my van. I just didn't want to pay $4,000, which brings the car to 60. Mind you, we got approved for 60. But you know, we had the extra bread. We could have put the bread to it, but I was being kind of cheap, which next time I won't. But the one thing that they don't tell you is you get more sensors, more safety sensors. So when I go like this, let me see. Let me zoom in. So you see how there's green around the car on there? In the Facebook group, some folks have the green all the way around their car, and I was like, hey, how come your car has green all the way around it? And they said, oh, well, the Premium Plus has more sensors. And I'm like, well, that's crazy. Like, you got to pay extra for more safety. And that's where I kind of got irritated, because Mazda's giving these people these cars on YouTube to review, to talk about the features. Nobody said anything about safety features at all. So I'm thinking it's across the board. If I would have known, I would have definitely bought that one, because safety is like number one. And for us, Liza driving the car. If I just want to make sure that she's safe. I want to make sure that if I'm driving the car, I'm safe. If we're driving, we're safe. So why in the hell would they do that? It doesn't really cost that much more money to put in the extras, to put the sensors in the other car, and in all the cars, make it across the board, safety features, all across the board. But they didn't, and they didn't talk about it. The other thing I didn't like in the Premium Plus is this little black strip here is gold in the Premium Plus. I don't like that. I'm very basic, simple. I like it clean looking, just like it looks. And that was the other thing that deterred me from it. Later on, I found out that the Premium Plus has black headliner, black everything up top. So in that case, it kind of makes the car a lot darker, but it makes it have like a more premium feel, because that's kind of what the premium cars do these days. So yeah, so I was a little bummed out about the camera, and because to be honest, the camera is a safety feature too. I'm over it. Although if I could find a way to make this camera work, I'd definitely do it. Like if there was like some type of aftermarket, or if I could buy the cameras and just plug them in and then it works, I'd be smooth. But it's missing a button here. And then the other thing that the difference is, we have some blanks, heated steering wheel, heated ventilated seats is what you would get also in the cooled ventilated seats. is what you would get in the Premium Plus. I don't really care about that either. And we don't care about a heated steering wheel. So, yeah. So, I mean, the car is simple. They're missing one thing that I really, really wanted, which would have been lane centering. So this does have radar cruise, which I really, really love. And what that does is I don't have to have my feet on the pedal at all. If we're on a freeway or if we're on the street, it'll stay a certain distance behind a car, anything that's in front of us. If the car in front of us stops, our car will stop. It'll slow down, stop. Once the car goes, this car will go. So I really like that. There are a couple of things that are just, they didn't get it right that we noticed on our, what was it, like 1,300 mile trip. If you're in radar cruise and there's a vehicle next to you, let's say there's a vehicle here, the road is turning this way, like we're on the freeway. It thinks that this car over here is in our lane, so it'll brake. Like it'll just hit the brakes on us. And other people have spoken about that also. I already know that it's going to happen, and so I'm kind of just waiting for it. What I would do is just hit the gas and just kind of override the situation, which that's what you're supposed to do. Lane centering will be so much better because what we can do is we can have it in radar cruise. We can have the lane centering to where it'll keep us in our lane, in the center of the lane. So let's say this is the lane here. The car is the Mazda emblem. It'll just keep us in the middle. If we kind of go this way, it'll go right back. But it'll do it on its own. So you don't really have to touch the steering wheel too much. You just keep your hand there, and the car, you'll see the steering wheel kind of turning. Now it does have lane keep assist, which is if you're going over out of your lane, it'll bump you back. But I've just tried it. I've messed with it just to see what happened. Like if I'm not holding the steering wheel and it's aggressive, it'll bump you back like way too aggressive. So in a nutshell, that's kind of what we got. There's a couple other little things that they could have done better on that people in the groups are kind of mad about, but touchscreen, you have to use this here, which I don't really care because we're used to this. We have our Mercedes was like this, so it doesn't make us mad or anything. Oh, the other thing too, there's a blank here. For the Premium Plus, the mirrors go in, which I don't really care about. So this is a couple little things. Now what I'll talk about, because it's going to be a long video, probably just going off into whatever atmosphere that I'm going off into. But now I just want to talk about, I talked about the second dealership, but I didn't tell you about the first. So what we did was we thought about where we're going to go to get the car. I looked online, Stevens Creek, which before was Oak Tree Mazda, where I got the Mazda Speed from. They're closer to us. They had one that was in transit. Or did they? I don't. No. Okay, so they didn't have anything in transit, but I thought that they did. So we ended up going there. So we walked on a lot, drove up, walked on a lot. Nobody came to us. We were at the actual CX-90. It was a artisan red, kind of their burgundy color one. We were there for like 15 minutes messing with it. Nobody came to us. We go inside. Again, nobody comes to us. And finally, I'm just looking around. I'm like, hey, man, you work here? And then the guy's wearing a white shirt, like a button up. And he's like, yeah, have you guys been helped? I'm like, no. And he's like, there's a couple of people that are that are around. Some of them are with people, but there's a couple other sales guys. One sales guy looks at us and like, he's like, "Oh, I'm busy." Now, mind you, we do end up going to somebody else. We go for a test drive. We come back, and the guy that said he's busy is still chilling. So whatever. So, but they put us with somebody. We go on a test drive. He's pretty cool. And they just don't, I forget what it was. Maybe they had a car that was coming and it was going to be way too long or something. I forget. But I was like, "Hey man, you think you could find something that's in the system, like from another dealership, and maybe work something out with them?" And he said he couldn't find nothing. But I already saw it online. Like a dealership had one. I just, for some reason, I guess I thought it was just them. I don't know what happened, but it was at Capital Mazda. That's the second place we went to. That's the place where we drove over the same day. We saw a car, went to it just to look it over, and a sales guy comes to us. Some guy, Samir. He comes over to us. He's talking with us. He's like, "Do you want to take it for a test drive?" Liza doesn't want to because we already did. For me, for my next experience, I'm gonna take as many test drives as I want, because sometimes you got to feel these people. And here's why I say this. So we go in. I said, "Oh, online it says you guys have a vehicle that's on its way. We want to buy it. Consider it sold. It is what it is. We already have our thing. Just it's sold. Like, okay, all you got to do is fill this paper out, and we need we need a credit card." I said, "Fine with me." And I was like, "How much is it?" He goes, "It's just a fictitious. There's really no amount. We're not going to charge your card, but that's what we need to hold the car." Cool. So I give him a credit card. Fill out the paperwork. The car at that point is supposed to be put on hold. I said, "Hey, we need this car before September 1st because we're going to go on a camping trip and then we're going to go to Vegas. I want to make sure that the car is perfect as far as like, you want to drive it some. It's a new platform, new car. Some people have had problems in the Mazda Facebook group. So I just want to make sure we don't have those problems when we're driving it." And he's like, "Okay, cool." I said, "One thing, please do not put the front license plate on it. It's a better look without it. None of my cars have a front license plate." And he said, "Fine, not a problem." So ETA, he went and talked to his sales manager. They said the car will be here first week of August. It was the last week of July. So I'm like, "Oh, that's next week." So first week comes, mind you, I'm behind on time. Like, now I gotta paint the Mercedes. I gotta take all the stuff out the Mercedes. I got a lot of stuff to do. So I'm not really tripping on time, but I know we have some time. At least a week. So what happens is, the first week comes along, second week comes along, no calls. Third week, I'm already done with the car now. Third week comes along, and I'm like, man, let me just go over there. So me and Liza went over there. We asked what's up. They said, "Oh, the car's at the port." Samir's not there. He's not. I don't know what this guy does. Does he work part-time? Does he not work at all? What the heck's going on? So he's not there. The sales manager says the car's at the port. You'll have it third week of August. It's third week of August, man. I'm like, I don't understand what this guy's talking about. It's third week. But it was like early third week. So he did say we'll get it by Friday. something like that. He was like, Wednesday we should have it picked up and we'll get it by Friday. I'm pretty sure that's exactly how he said it. Liza heard it. I heard it. I'm like, all right, well, shoot, let's go to the bank. We go to the bank. Because, I want to make sure that the car is, I don't want to just go to the bank and be on hang up for a minute with the car. So we go to the bank, get approved. They're like, just come back, get a check, you're good to go. Cool. So I let Samir know, hey, we got approved, all is smooth. And then, well, actually, I'm bullshitting y'all. We actually did that when he said it was in transit. We went and got approved. We went to the bank when he said it was in transit, and it was going to be next week. So everything was already set in stone. Like, this is the car we're going to get. This is the car we're going to get. We told the bank, we already gave the VIN and all that other stuff. All they needed was the paperwork showing that was the car we were going to have. So, or going to buy. So, anyway, let me go back to where I was. So Friday of the third week comes, still nothing. I'm looking online, it still says in transit. Fourth week pops up, and then on like Tuesday very late, I'm looking online and it says, it doesn't say in transit anymore. So I'm like, oh, it's here. So we actually got some things on the car, right? The car was coming with destination package, which is like the roof cross bars for like, so you could put something on top. It comes with like the cover for the trunk. So when you, so if someone's looking in the window, they can't see whatever you're storing. And some other stuff, but it also came with, which this one doesn't have it, a rear view mirror that is a camera. So, and I'll get to that in a second too. So, so I'm like, oh, maybe they're just installing the stuff. Usually that's kind of what they'll do. Aftermarket parts, they usually, at least what I thought, they usually put them on at the dealership. So Wednesday, Thursday come along. I call them up on Friday, like, I text. No, I called him up on, I text on Thursday, and I said, hey, just want to check if the car is there. Mind you, I know the car is there. And the guy's like, oh, what's the VIN number? I'm like, man, why am I texting you? You should know who I am. And he goes, hey, Samir's not here. I'm the sales manager, or I'm some manager. And the car is here. When he took the picture, he sent a picture of me like right away, and of the VIN, the car, and the part where it says PHEV on the back. And it looks like it's right on the on the outside on the dealership, like in the row of cars. I'm like, man, why would they put it there if they knew we were, we put a hold on it? So I said, hey, no, he's texting real fast back and forth. Like, if I ask a question, he texts right away. Until I said, hey, is the front license plate on there? I hope you guys didn't put it on, because I requested that you guys don't put the front license plate on. He didn't say anything for hours. So I'm like, okay, let's just go over there. Me and Liza went over there after work, and we take the S550 and go look at the car. And I said, there's a license plate on the car? He goes, oh yeah, it is. I said, man, I told y'all, dude, not to do it. Like, I was pissed. Like, it's simple directions. Put a note on the car. Put something on the car. the car gets there, we should have whose car this belongs to. You guys, and there should be a piece of paper, there should be some type of something in the system or something. This car belongs to this person that put a hold on it. This is what they want. This is what they requested. Go out there if you have to. Go put a do not drill put a sticker, put a post-it on the front license plate area so that way it's not done. But they didn't do it. And they did it to 2 cars. 2 people requested it, me and somebody else. They showed me it was a red one, and they also did it to that one. And the guy did say, the sales manager said that. I'm assuming that's supposed to make me feel better. I got more pissed. I'm like, yo, what kind of people you got working here? Like, you guys are managers. Nobody's pissed. Nobody's trying to make this even, right. So this sales guy, we go outside and look at the car, and he goes, here, just take the key. He doesn't ask me for any of my information. He knows who I am now at this point. Just go out there, test drive the car, take as long as you want, 20, 30 minutes, whatever you got to do, and then come back. So me and Liza were driving the car. I'm like, man, I'm real irritated. And we go back. Or actually, before we left, the guy's like, just take the front license plate frame off and you can plug it, or like some little plugs. And then you can paint the plugs the same color as the car. I'm just like, don't look right, man. Don't look right. So anyway, we go out there, we take our test drive, filling out the car, and we go back. And I'm like, okay, well, how much you gonna get? We do got to trade in. How much you gonna give for it? This dude said, they go out there, all of them, all the managers, they love the car. Beautiful car. I don't know if that's salesman talk. I've never really traded in a car like this, but man, the car is lovely. But the car had malfunction on the suspension. I did my best. I failed at it. I couldn't figure out how to get the suspension right. Like, it is what it is. So the car got to go like that. This dude was like, man, how much are you trying to get for the car? And I said, well, you tell me. I said, I know what I'm trying to get for it, but you tell me what you're going to give me for this vehicle. Because I don't want to say a number and then you're like, okay, we'll get you around that number. Or, I don't know. I know these cars are selling for $10,000. I know what I want to take for it. I just want a $6,500 for it, $6,000 at least. This dude comes back and he goes, we'll give you $3,000 for it. And then he was like, man, if I was you, I would just put the car online. You'll sell this thing $5,000, no problem. You'll sell it right away in a couple of days. Excuse me. So I'm like, man, that's a slap in the face. So we go home. And I told Liza, I said, you know what, man? I don't want to deal with this car. I'm done with it. It's irritating to me. Like, we'll just do what they say. We'll go back tomorrow, which is Friday. We'll get the car. We'll take both the Mercedes. They can have them for whatever they want. And that night, late night again, I go online and I'm looking for another Mazda CX-90 plug-in hybrid in white. And I find one. And it says in transit. We'll be there on Sunday. Which was funny because the other dealership didn't have a date. This dealership does have a date. Which I believe that they know the exact date by a week. So, first thing in the morning, I wake up super early because I had a job that was early. First thing in the morning, I call them, 9 o'clock, right? I was up at like 7 or something. But I said, hey, I'm looking for a car. Do you guys have it? Gave him the stock number. And this guy was like, I'll call you right back. Looks like it'll be here on Sunday. The dude texts me right away. The car is on the trailer. It just got there. Has 2 miles on it. I said, man, consider it sold. We go over there that day and we buy it. I told him, don't put the license plate on it. He listened to me. He said he gets a lot of people that come from other dealerships that they don't do it. They don't listen. Here's where things get all jacked up kind of again. So we got money. You know, we got up to $60,000. I said, put our rear view mirror on there, include it. This dude, the sales manager, comes over. Not our sales guy, the sales manager. He goes, $1,600. I said, dude, it says $800 on the website. He goes, well, yeah, that's if you buy it from the factory, because they installed everything from the factory. So if you want us to install it, it's $800 extra. I said, I was pissed. I said, man, dude, throw it in. You guys didn't have to do anything. It was like an easy sell for you. There was nothing you had to do. If you guys can just do me that solid, that'd be great. Like, I'm pre-approved. You ain't got to work for me or nothing. I'm basically giving you guys a check. And they didn't want to do that. But while all this is happening, that morning, I'm thinking, like, how am I going to get rid of this car? So about 1 o'clock or something, I put the car on, or maybe it was 2. I put the car on Facebook for $4,500. I bullshit you not. I got 50 messages within 10 minutes. Excuse me. It just kept coming and coming and coming. People calling my phone. I'm like, how the hell did y'all get my phone number? And it was just the weirdest thing. One guy calls. He's like, hey, I'm coming from Modesto or Manteca. I forget. He goes, I just need you to promise me that you won't sell it, because I don't want to go all the way over there and then, you know, there's no car. I said, well, we're at the bank right now, man. If you can meet us at the dealership, we can make this happen. At that time, I didn't know that we were going to get the car because we have to bring them a check. So we have to get the paperwork first, go to the bank, get a check, until the bank said that they are in network with Mazda. So they can see everything. Mazda can see everything that, you know, that they see. So if there's a pre-approval, they see it, it's all said and done. So I said, okay, we can get this car today. So, which is Friday. So the guy meets us at the dealership. Liza's inside. I'm outside with the guy. We do a test drive, and we're out there for a while. But he ends up buying it, $4,500 cash. We put that money down on the car. Again, I'm just trying to use up my money. I don't want to have $60,000. We ended up financing for like $57,000 with taxes and destination and fees and all that stuff. And the APR high. Well, this is with good credit, y'all. It's just because the interest rates are stupid high. So APR is like, they told us 4.8 or something, 6.8, which is, again, stupid high. And it'll change after 15 days. So we're waiting for this car for a while, for like a month. And finally we got the car. It was just like right under a month. So the interest rate went from that to like 7.1. But I plan on paying off the car in 2 years. We ended up doing an 8-year. It was 84 months because I wanted the monthly payment to be low. So, and the reason I did that is because I have like a lump sum of money that I get from one of my monthly contracts that I claim for. All that money is just going to go towards the car, because this is like a fat amount of money that I just don't want to have a monthly payment of. It's like 800 and something, like 890 or something, or something ridiculous. But you know, there's plans for this car. This car is, I'm gonna get it. More than likely, I want to get it wrapped red with our logo on it. We'll be using it for certain things. Again, we don't go anywhere, so this is going to be our vehicle for the business. You know, we take it to Vegas for the cleaning conference. Other than that, we really don't do too much with our cars. We do have the Mazda Speed, so you know, those types of things that plans for this thing. If we have like a small job or something, if we're doing estimates, we could take this, which would be nice. And we don't have to use any gas because, you know, it's all electric in our area. But so yeah, so while I'm outside with these guys, Liza's like, hey, what's your social? She texts me, and I'm like, my social, but I give her my social. I wasn't paying attention. And what's your annual income? I'm like, so I told her, and I go inside after everything, and I'm so confused. I'm like, why are you giving us this paperwork? Which the other dealership did it too. Like, why are you giving us this paperwork with what our rates would be with how much we want to put down? They're basically going through like a sales process with us. And I didn't know. I'm like, what in the? I'm just coming into this. And if I would have known, the next day I found out, because what happens is when my credits run, it sends me a text saying that your credit has been checked. So the next morning, so he basically, what he did was he ran our credit again. Like, he was trying to find us a loan when we already got the loan amount. That's one thing I didn't like. And he's like, because I texted him the next day like, hey, why'd you run our credit again? And Liza was like, he's going to say I said it was okay. But I was like, you didn't know. I know this because I bought so many cars. Me and my uncle, I used to go with him all the time to go, like, to car dealerships. And what they do is they'll keep running your credit, like, trying to get you a better deal. And it's like, man, what are you doing? So he goes, well, now, mind you, I said this is an expensive car. It's kind of the most expensive car they had on their lot, because once you start, like, Mazda used to be lower, like $40,000. This is a $60,000 vehicle. Kind of. It's almost there. But, like, why would you? I was like, man, can you just, you know, throw in the installation for the rear view camera? And he was like, I can't. I was like, man, this is the most expensive car you got on your lot, pretty much, man. At least you could do is do a stat solid. He said, you know, it's just a car. It's just 60. It's nothing. But when I asked him, why'd you run our credit again? This dude said, I had to make sure you guys were who you were, because that's a $60,000 car. It's very expensive. I don't want you to just leave with $60,000 without us knowing. But Mazda said you guys are in the same network and you should be able to see it. Our bank. So there's just so many. That's why I hate dealerships. It's so freaking stupid, and that's why Tesla has it down to a science, man. Like, I don't need all this stuff. I can, you know, you can damn near buy a car online, you know. I mean, you can. I'm just saying, like, I don't need this middle person to mess with me. I was pissed off at the sales manager, because he was trying to coerce me to buy the $7,000 extended warranty and the service package, maintenance package for this thing. He wouldn't stop. Like, he wouldn't leave me alone. Like, kept going at it and going at it. I was like, doesn't this car have a warranty already on it? And he was like, yeah, it does. I said, why? I was like, why do I need 2 more years of that for? Man, I don't want it. Well, you have a battery. I said, well, isn't the warranty for the battery 100,000 miles? Well, yeah. I'm like, so why are you trying to make me spend $7,000? Like, I don't want it. Like, all I said was I don't want it, and I kept saying I don't want it. And then our sales guy messed up, because I said, I know you guys have, like, you got to make a certain amount of sales on these things. Like, you have a quota. He was like, no, we don't have a quota. And really what it is the higher-ups, they're mad because we haven't been pushing it. So now we have to push it because they want those sales. I'm like, dude, I'm the wrong person to do this to. Like, really, like, I was pissed. Like, I already said no. If I don't want it, I don't want it. Don't make me try to do anything. Like, to be honest, when you go buy a car, you're not obligated to buy anything extra. You could just buy the car with the tax and license fees. That's it. All of the other stuff that they do is just extra BS. The car has a warranty already. It's fully warranty, like, from the factory. It's 3 years, 60,000 miles, and then on the EV portion of it, it's like 100,000 miles. All the extra is just BS. I don't need the maintenance plan. Why do I need to buy the maintenance plan when I can just go and pay for the maintenance as time comes? So those are certain things that just bug me, man. Like, and then later on, I was like, man, I really want the Premium Plus. Let me see how much they're gonna give us for this thing. So I asked for, like, we want to upgrade. We put $4,500 down. I'm prepared to put $4,000 down again, like, just to see. I'll pay the extra. It is what it is. Until this guy said he'll give me. I knew what he was doing because I've heard this before. So when I asked him, hey man, I want to trade this one in for the Premium Plus because I want all the sensors and all that other stuff in the 360 camera. It's my mistake. I should have just went with it in the first place. This dude said, do you have $10,000? How much are you going to put down this time? 10,000? Now, usually when they do that is because they automatically drop the car down 10,000. That's kind of what they're going at. So if he said, how much down are you going to give? Are you prepared to do like 6? That's because they're going to, trade-in value is going to drop down 6,000. So I kind of knew that. We did put $4,500 down. So I said, well, I'm prepared to put, 4,000. That would make it technically, because we're already putting money towards the other car. That would make it 8,000, 8,500. And he said, well, if you put that down, that'll make your monthly $1,100. I'm like, not doing that. So I did ask. I said, well, how much are you giving me for this car? And he says, 44,000. I said, yeah, right. I said, my wife would make me sleep in this car. I was just curious. Like, if he was going to give me a smooth deal, we could have made that possible, but I'm not stupid. I'll lose a little bit of ducats, but not like that. So I did tell Liza, I said, if they come up with center lane centering, we'll trade this car in for that, because that's something I really want. And then at that time, we'll just get the 360 camera. So she's fine with that. But that's the car, man. I'm about to unplug it. Got to go towards the Liza's appointment. But yeah, I like it, man. I like this car. I just been over here talking. So far, Let me see. So it's $2 per hour. We've been here for about an hour. So I just spent $2 on this. Not bad. Oh. Oh, there you go. $2.23. All right, so this is her. She always starts out in EV, which is kind of what I was going for. The other thing is we average about 28 miles per gallon if we're using if we're using the engine, but we don't really use that, so. We also have different modes. We got normal, we got sport, and then you just heard the engine start. Because what sport mode does is it uses the engine and the motors. And then it gives you more juice. But for me, I like EV. All right, y'all. I'm gonna holler at y'all. It's a long video, but let y'all know about buying vehicles, what to look for, what not to look for. Do more research than I did. All right, y'all. Peace. It's DWES for life.